Situations. I'm your host, Kayla Rowe, and we have a great episode for you tonight. So let's get to it. This episode is to teach those interested in pursuing the field of economics a little bit more about what it takes to write for this discipline. First, we want to define economics as the study of scarcity, and while this seems somewhat generalized, it helps show how creative and expansive the field of economics really is. Next, we plan on telling you all about our favorite economist, Wake Forest's own Professor Francis X. Flanagan. Specifically, we will show you all a scholarly research piece, a popular op-ed, and a National Science Foundation research proposal to prove how audience really does affect choices in writing. And hopefully by the end, you all will understand how significant it is to recognize rhetorical pattern in this field if you hope to one day be an economist like us. Now back to you, David.
Thanks, Kayla. I'm here to give you some quick background that might help you understand what's ahead. So to start us off, I'd like to tell you a little bit more about the study of scarcity and reduce some of the assumptions you might have about economics. For example, when you hear the word economics, you might think money. But in reality, the field is much more diverse than it's given credit for. If you're not convinced yet, let's take a peek at Professor Flanagan's subject material, which includes nothing about money or markets. In fact, he actually writes about a very interesting court law few people are aware of. Now back to you, Kayla.
Peremptory challenges are a court rule that permits attorneys to strike prospective jurors to ensure the defendant's rights to an impartial jury. Sounds great, right? Wrong. This means an opposing lawyer can take you out of a jury if they feel like the way you look, think, or act could have a negative consequence on their client. Professor Flanagan shows that these lawyers often target jurors for racial reasons, which can create really unethical systems of conviction. And now let's take you to the streets of Wake Forest campus and teach some students what it means to be an economist in academic writing. Hey, this student over here really looks like he wants to know what a Lexus is. Let's go enlighten him. Hey, sir, excuse me.
Whoa, what's up? Could
you tell me what a Lexus is?
Like the car?
Well, that did not go as planned. But in reality, few people understand Lexus and its importance in academic writing. Lexis is specialized, community-specific terminology used for efficient communication between those in the field. So, in Professor Flanagan's works, we see him use 3 different variations of Lexis that reflect the genre of the text. In his academic piece, Flanagan uses high-level vocabulary for those experts in this field, like Nash equilibrium, lemma, and backwards induction. Then in his popular op-ed, he uses colloquialisms like, but is it? Finally, in Flanagan's grant proposal, we see him use simple but persuasive Lexis that proves feasibility. From these 3 texts, we can see the importance of using specialized language to establish credibility with your target audience. Now back to the streets of Wake Forest to talk about our next topic, structure. Hey, I see a student coming. Let's go talk to him about structure. Hey.
Yeah, what's up?
Okay, can you tell me what structure is in academic writing?
How do you guys keep finding me?
Does no one really understand what structure is? Structure is construction or formatting of the pieces of an essay in order to create a physical path to significance. So to look at Professor Flanagan's 3 works again, we can see him develop different structures for each of his texts. In his academic piece, Flanagan devotes 14 pages to models and 10 pages to proofs, whereas introduction and conclusion collectively sum to 1 page. From this, we can recognize the importance economists place on data and difficult computations as opposed to the author's interpretation. Next, we see Flanagan adapt his structure to a popular audience by shortening the same 19-page research to just a page, demonstrating his understanding for the attention span of a popular audience. Lastly, Flanagan actually relinquishes the choice of structure due to the formatting constraints of the National Science Foundation that he appeals to for funding. Developing the structure of a text is an important rhetorical choice, as it requires the author to intentionally create a path that best communicates their purpose to their audience. So now that we've seen 2 rhetorical choices in the field of economics, we can extrapolate this to the larger field itself and describe more about what it means to be an academic economist. Economic writing is important as it has the power to influence the world around us. Writing leads to policy change, and policy change affects all our lives. So if you want to engage with this field and have ideas worth sharing, you must be effective and proficient in the values of its discourse community. Your voice will not be heard. The future of the field is becoming increasingly competitive, which demands further complexity from its writers. My lesson to you all is to understand the precision of writing when coupled with an academic field. Then, and only then, will you have the tools to change the world. My name is Kayla Rowe. It's been a pleasure, and have a good night.